Greetings and welcome to SmartWatchTix.com. Two watches, Android 11, identical, two different companies. For those of you who don't have time to watch the reviews of both of them, ready, set, go. We're going to check the boot up time. We're going to check a lot of stuff. Here are the LOKMAT APPLLP4 Pro and the LEMFO LEM16. As they go through their boot up process, I'd like to let you know where you can get them and how. The LOKMAT is wow, there you go. The same. This is their separate logos now. The only difference here is that little few seconds. Are they exactly the same length? Let's see. Anyway, you can get the APPLLP Pro 4 Pro from the LOKMAT APPLLP official store. Ready? Ready? Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Come on. Oh, it's close. I mean, they're identical. And they're there. The LEMFO. They're basic. There. Okay. This has a few custom watch faces on it, although that shouldn't have delayed it, but it might have a bit in its boot up. Very close, though. All right, back to this. You can pick this one up. Right now, the pricing that I had set for this, and both of them are always going up and down. So please check the link in the show notes to head over to whichever one, or both of them, to price them out and see what you can get the best deal on. This is going for about $230 to $250. That's a $20 difference, and the difference is the higher cost one includes the charging dock. It's a little $20 extra you can get on both the LEMFO and the LOKMAT. So the APPLLP4 Pro is here, and the LEMFO LEM16 is coming from, at this point, the LEMFO promotion store at AliExpress. Both of them coming from AliExpress, a bit lower, $200. And again, coupon discounts can be available on both of these watches, so I'll have those listed in the show notes as well. And for an extra $20, there's the little charging dock that you can add to it as well. It just slaps on the back. In the in-depth review, I show that one on the APPLLP one. So, wow, I got one new update, 3 updates pending. I got notifications on this one coming in already. Let's clear all of that stuff. There's several of them. There we go. And we're back to one of the custom faces that our guys at FullAndroidWatch.org has created a long time ago. Tim and Pierce, the amazing duo over there, got quite a few other ones. But we'll walk you through some of the stock watch faces. I want to show you that they are pretty much exactly the same. Here's the layout. All these buttons are the same. I don't have location on that one, and I don't have Bluetooth on that one, but that's about the only difference. I guess it's not on that one. Anyway, when it's blue, it's on. I got them at the same level of brightness. In terms of overall brightness, they're pretty much identical there. And the low level, this one's not dropping as much. You know why? Uncle Tix has put on that special display brightness app on this one that you can slide it up and down and adjust the brightness. What? No, that is not part of Android 11 or 10 or this watch or any watch or phone or any phone. It's a separate app, and it's no longer available in the Google Play Store. But if you like it and you want to play with it, I got a link in my show notes at the bottom to our resource center, which is a Google Drive that you can download display brightness. You'll find it over there, and install it. It's really sweet. But that's a difference you're seeing here, but it's not a difference in the watches. What is different is the bezel. Look at that. This says start power with a funny little U right there. This one says tachometer, and it has kind of the tachometer numbering around the outside. So they're striving for a sporty, adventurer's kind of a look. These guys, perhaps more of a dress watch. So is that your distinction? Maybe you'll buy based on the bezel, because everything else is similar. The bands, they're different. This has a little bit of a slash going on, and this is a little bit thicker rubberized band. Do they have... LOKMAT has its own custom buckle on it. On the back side, you've got a little bit more I don't know what you'd say, crisscross on here. This one's pretty plain. So the bands are slightly different. So if you don't care about the bezels but are interested in the bands, then you've got those options available to you. The rest of the watch, pretty much the same. Speakers on the bottom section over here. On this side, we've got two buttons, identical on both watches. The cameras, same size modules, everything's the same. At the top, we've got the SIM card slot behind here. You can't really see it here without taking the bands off, but it's there. Nothing on the front side, just sticks out a little bit for the wiring from the screen. And the back is exactly identical. An air pressure hole, air pressure relief hole. The screws are the same, the charger's the same. It's the same watch, guys. Might even have the same writing on here. So yeah, to look for the differences between these watches is really hard. If I slide over, and I've changed this now, it's a changeable option of the way it's going to slide, and I've also changed, that's the basic one, how it starts up. But we did a more in-depth review on the LOKMAT one. You got phone and contacts and SMSs, all the same settings, heart rate, blood oxygen, sleep, and breath training. You see they're all the same. Camera, gallery. We've done a review of both cameras and they're identical. Front and side, music, recorder, file manager, weather. There's no difference whatsoever on any of these. The themes are the same. You have Google Play Store and maps and optimization, your watch faces, assistant. Now, in terms of new things, that's display brightness I added from installing it to test to make sure that would work. And flashlight was a downloadable app you can get from the App Store, which I did on here. Now, this isn't on the internet right now, so it's not able to go there. But I tested both, and you can download them. But they're not yet on the LEM16 because it basically just came in. The come back to the opening. Coming over here, we've got the fitness activity, and they are exactly the same. You can set this up for GPS to work and give you your track when you have running, walking, or cycling. That's available. And when you swipe up, you've got your step count information, music player, weather in your area when you have that all synchronized, and that's it. Yeah. And this way gives you notifications when you're tethered to the GalFit app on your phone. So those are all the same. Let's look at the watch faces. So I'm just going to show you the thumbnails because you've seen many of these as we've exploded them. But there is something I want to point out. Here's your opening LOKMAT image, and this is the opening one for the LEMFO. Coming over, we've got a couple of different ones. This is kind of a static one, but this one in particular I want to call your attention to with that center there. Let's just look at it. I'm going to touch it, and when you tap this, it launches the camera, the side camera. When you touch that, you can go into your calls, and when you touch that, you can go into your fitness. So you have, I think, heart rate even here. Yep. You have active buttons on this LOKMAT custom face, and I do not see that on the LEMFO. So if you're not planning on trying to search and download specialty faces, but you want out-of-the-box functionality with complications, the LOKMAT wins on that category because it has that particular face. The other ones now, look at that. It's like they opened the same See's candy box with all of the candies in the same spot. Yeah, they are exactly identical. So the first two on both of them have been customized by the company, and the rest of these watch faces have all been installed probably at the original factory as part of the overall package. No difference whatsoever. Wow, okay. Oh, we're getting a little bit different here, are we? No, same. Yeah, and there's a lot of them, but nothing specific that makes either watch different than the other at this point. Yeah, now this is one that I downloaded from the server that you could tap into. And I believe this one and this one were the first ones we saw on this one, right? So they're in here as well. Plus, there's a few more. Now, if it has a... Okay, these are custom faces. We know that because we got in here and downloaded them. So all of those are custom faces, and then it's going to get into my personal faces as well. But all of these, including these two, it appears, are on the AAPLLP 4 Pro, plus those very first two that I showed you, which is really cool. So between both watches, this one wins out in faces. Now I'm going to take you on a journey quickly that either of these watches would support. And these are third-party type of watch faces. Now, if it has a trash can, that means I've downloaded it and installed it. It's not a stock watch. I could throw it away if I want to. And just to give you an example, how does your watch did today? Okay, Dow Jones, whatever. Keep getting pushes to this one because it is on Wi-Fi. This is an example of a nice watch face, color coordinated with the tachometer and the red. I mean, you can look for those specialty types of watches. There's a few places you can get them. I've got links in the show notes for common ones, and I've got complete detailed videos on watch faces for Android watches, including a design class that you can take to make your own, and they're really, really great. Here's Mr. Tix. Andrew made this one for me a long time ago, based on the Vegas sign, illuminated sign there. Says fabulous, welcome to fabulous smartwatch Tix. I really love that. That's one of my favorites. And of course, on and on and on. There's the one we already saw. This I thought was pretty cool. I don't know where you can get it, but it is the best emulation I've ever seen of an analog watch gear turning. Look at how smooth that is. It's really an art to try to do this kind of level of work, and I applaud the author of this. And I'm sorry I've lost the thread on where it came from. But lots of good things. I believe this one is a fancy, fun one. Now this definitely comes from the Full Android Watch group. They've got an entire blog that just goes on and on and on, or a thread on their site related to Android smartwatches. They've got some that can do all kinds of things with buttons and animation, and really, really worth looking at. They're easy to download and install in any Android watch, no matter which one that you decide you want to get. So here we go. Two identical watches, subtle differences in the overall operation with the firmware and the watch faces, but very, very subtle. Everything else is pretty much identical. The one thing I didn't go into for showing you is the settings. Let's wrap that part of it up, because this is where Android 11 lives. You see you got the network the same, the connected devices the same, your apps and notifications and battery and display, sound and storage. And yes, I could go deep into each one of these and show you that they're identical in there as well. Your Google services, that's standard. You get that on your phone as well. The overall system, your languages and time, and then about. And this is about the only place you're going to see differences, and that's when you go down to the build number, and you can see that the two build numbers are slightly different, but only in the name. Look at that, 2020-07-07. Exact same version 1.1, just a slightly different change in the name at the very beginning. And this is the English version of it, or basically the universal version. So, which one do you want? Well, unless you're attached to the bezel look, or the band look, or the watch faces, especially the one that can do the camera and all the other complications right out of the box, the choice is yours. Again, you have LEMFO making the LEM16 with the additional puck for about $20. And it's coming in right now at under $200, but the prices are constantly changing. Or you can go for the LOKMAT APPLLP 4 Pro is the model number, and its range is about 230 to 250. I know that's a big gap, and quite a bit for just paying for the extra watch face that's got complications on it. But again, the prices are really rapidly changing back and forth. One will be ahead of the other at different times. If you prefer one, wait a little while. Especially with Black Friday coming up, you're going to see some major shifts in pricing. I don't think you'll see these below 100, but you're definitely going to be well below 200. So please use our links. Keep this in mind and pick out whichever one you want. These are the 2 flagship Android 11 watches on the market right now. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.